So that was your homework for this week. This is the extra credit. Let's see. Debbie said, I didn't until I got to late 40s. I mean, it is so refreshing, so refreshing. I'm not going to be able to quit drinking it. Okay, so tonight's topic was, we were talking about organizing our kitchen to for success. You know, how to organize your kitchen for success. Well, let's face it, I am here at work more than I'm at home, so it's a little, I don't know, it's a little easier, but also a little harder to organize the kitchen at home because John eats most of his big meals at work. I have not had that ability. Remember when I said my my want-tos out, you know, are bigger than my can-dos. So I often end up having my bulk meal, my big meal at night when I get home. But since John's usually already eaten at work, or if he's had to travel or whatever and he's not eating with me, sometimes it gets a little, you know, a little interesting. But I decided that I'm going to organize my space around me here because I am here in this kitchen, not like in the kitchen, I'm over there at my desk, but I am here in this space from about 6:30, 6:40 every morning until I leave about 4:30, 5 o'clock. That's half my day, like literally half my day, including sleeping time, is spent in this area. So I decided for my success that I'm going to organize this area first, because then I think that it will segue, or it'll, I think it's going to help ease into the evening, organization there at home. So I'm going to give you all a couple of tips for getting this space organized, and then you all are going to help me organize some of my space. So first thing I'm going to say is teamwork, teamwork, teamwork. So you all, we are a team. So there are 54 of us here right now, like at this exact moment in time at 8:35 on Sunday night, September the 24th. We have a 57. We have a 57-person team right here, okay? So whether your team is the other people here on the chat, if your team is people in our Weight Watchers Facebook group, if it's your team on Connect, if it's your team at your in-person workshop. But if your team, if you have to share space like I have to share here, if you have to share space with family, with coworkers, or even your favorite server at Cracker Barrel, you've got to get everybody on the same team, okay? You've all got to be working together as a team on making decisions. Makes it so much easier, okay? 2 weeks ago, I challenged the server at Cracker Barrel to come up with an a la carte meal that would be soft enough for me to eat and not bust the budget, okay? Because I tried to put something together for myself that would be soft enough, having only been 2 days after my dental surgery. I tried to put together something that would be soft enough to eat, that would not blow my Weight Watchers budget, but also would not bust our monetary budget, because it was going to end up being like a $15 or $16 meal if I chose one just off the a la carte. So I asked my teammate, who was the sweet waitress at Cracker Barrel, I told her what was going on, and I said, what are some ideas? What ideas do you have? And so she put together a kids plate, the 2-vegetable kids plate, and then added a little something to it, and it was very reasonable, worked great, whatever. So at that point, she became my teammate. Then this week, so yesterday, the girls in the showroom and I teamed up, so it was another teamwork thing. We teamed up and made a yummy lunch for all of us, more than we possibly needed, but we ate it all, here in the showroom out of things that we already had in the refrigerator. We didn't go get anything. We made it out of things that we already had here. We also made 2 dozen hard-boiled eggs, because I had a team put together, one person to get them going, one person to put them in the ice bath, one person to put them, put them back out, put them back into the containers when they were done. So we worked as a team for that. We made 18 one-point waffles for the freezer, which I'll show you here in a few minutes. And we used up an entire container of tomatoes before they turn it into compost. That's a great team. So whether it's your family, coworkers, the server at Cracker Barrel, or wherever your favorite place is to go, you got to get your team together, okay? That's the first thing to organizing your space. So we called it organizing your kitchen for success, but your kitchen extends beyond your actual kitchen. Like, this is not my home kitchen. but this is my kitchen, okay? So it's more about organizing that space, and the space is just wherever you're at that moment, cooking, eating, preparing, whatever. Okay, next thing, put what you want up front and center and hide the rest, or better yet, leave it at the store. So I'm going to show you that here in a few minutes, and then you all are going to help me organize them up front and center. But one thing like fruit, so I go ahead and I try to keep sturdy fruits. I've redone where our fruit is, and I'll show you. It is right here now. So our fresh fruit is right there, and it's so weird because I'm backwards, so I'm having trouble figuring out where I'm pointing, but our fresh fruit is right there. It's where we can all see it. It's up high, it's open, so we can all see it. If we needed a banana, an apple, what did I get this week? I got bananas, apples, and clementines this week, and they are up front and center, and then I hid everything else. So all of the snacky food is now down there. So fruit is up here front and center. You're going to help me organize some other things here in just a second, but any of the things that we kind of snack on are down. I put them down low because you're more likely to not reach for them if they're down. It's weird. I don't understand the science behind it, but you'll reach for things up to get them, but I don't know, it's just not as easy. And remember from the first part of the chat, we talked about when things are easier, how much easier, how much more likely we are to do it. If it's down low, you're less likely to do it. And I put it in a drawer that is covered up with a towel that Orlando Debbie sent me, a kitchen towel, because to get into this drawer, now I actually have to lift this towel up before I can open the drawer. So that's just another kind of step, kind of a boundary that I put in between me and the more snacky kind of foods, so that it'll be easier to go over here and grab some fruit, less easy to get into that drawer. Okay, so put what you want to eat up front and center. The next thing is prep it, mark it. Prepping, prep it, make it, mark it. Prepping food and meals ahead is great. Oh, and by Trish, grandkids want dinner. Yeah, hey Trish, how's your dental stuff going on? So prep it, make it, mark it. Prepping food and meals ahead of time is great. Making better choices available is key. But if you don't mark it, is it going to get eaten? Or is it going to turn into compost? And I'm going to show you an example of that here in just a second. And then the last thing is, now you see me. So I'm going to go ahead and do my homework while I'm kind of showing you all around what I've already done. Remember, your homework was to either show something that you wanted to be available, that you wanted to choose to make it easier to choose, or put it in something you can't see, put it away, put it down in that bottom drawer, take it away, like this will be going with John to work so that I don't get into it, or just leave it at the dang store because you can't eat it if it's already at the store. And Vicki wants to know if my staff eats with me. Vicki, I have a long-standing record of 18 years of barely eating lunch. My staff eating with me on Saturdays is a new habit that we are trying to form. So we are trying really hard. We kind of made a pact on Saturday. We know it's not realistic every day, but we kind of made a pact on Saturday that that's going to be our day, that we're, as a group, as a threesome, that we are going to make something and enjoy it together. Okay, so I'm getting ready to do something I haven't done in a long time, and that is to try and turn the camera around and see if I can keep you all with me. The last time I tried that did not have much success, but I'm going to try it this time. So let me just look at my notes real quick. Okay, so put what you want up front and center, hide the rest of it or leave it at the store. Prep it, make it, mark it. So we're going to look at that. Well, let me finish telling you this real quick. So prepping food, I'm going to do my homework, but y'all are going to help me with it here in a second. When we look in the refrigerator, everything in there earlier yesterday, so yesterday morning, everything in there was disorganized. It was everywhere. There was stuff everywhere. We found 3.5 bottles of ranch dressing. For the record, 0 of them were mine, okay? But we found 3.5 bottles. 3 of them were not even opened. 3.5 bottles of ranch dressing, 2 bottles of mayonnaise. One of them was expired. One of them was getting close. We found all kinds of drinks that were expired. This was not my food originally, so we've moved into a friend's showroom. Some of the good things were hidden. Like, I was hiding them down in drawers because I don't know why I felt like my stuff didn't deserve shelf space. So I was letting Christine's food be up front and center, but she's hardly ever here. So we reorganized that. We marked a lot of things, and we moved some of the good things up so they're front and center. And then we spent an hour yesterday working together, the three of us working together in the kitchen, making the yummy food, getting this organized. I'm going to show you what we organized, and then I'm going to let you help me with the rest of it. So let's try this, and you all tell me if this works. So it's been years since I have tried flipping the camera around. You all let me know if it worked. So this is what we did yesterday, and somebody please let me know if you can still hear me okay, or if I need to flip the camera back around. But what we did yesterday is up here. So up here on this highest shelf, which is the least friendly shelf to get into, but we still put a few things up there, like, oh, thank you, Lynn. So like that is Christine's half and half. It's full fat half and half. That is my fat-free half and half that I use for cooking sometimes. So I moved it forward a little bit so I could get to it. The artichoke hearts, I went ahead, okay, great, thank you all. The artichoke hearts, I went ahead and marked those. Those are not mine, but she said we can have them, and I was like, I don't know if you noticed or not, it says quarters and halves, and it says marinated in oil, and I thought, well, dang, I like artichoke hearts, but I'm not going to eat those because they're marinated in oil. They're only 1 point. So I'm going to go ahead and use those. I was craving orange juice. Don't ask. I don't know why, but I was craving orange juice the other day, so I put it on the top shelf so I know it's there, but I have a little mason jar that's marked so I know how much I'm pouring out at a time, you know, just a little, you know, like a half a cup at a time, just enough to quench my thirst. Okay, then I put the things that we want to eat right here. So these three rows right here, that's where I put the things that we want to keep front and center. So this is a little bit of buffalo mozzarella that we had left over from yesterday. This, we went ahead and pre-chopped 3 of the hard-boiled eggs that we make and then these are some of the roasted tomatoes. They're the end of season tomatoes. So the recipe for how to hard-boil eggs and for the end of season tomatoes, that's already on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. So we went ahead and prepped some of those and have it ready. Then that's the fruit that we just talked about a second ago. Christine had left 24 eggs in here. She moved. She sold one house, had to be out, had a week and a half before she could be in the next house. So she brought all of her food here, and bless her heart, she's a one-person show at home, and she had all the stuff from Costco. But so we went ahead and hard-boiled 24 eggs, but I did leave them in this clear container. I don't ever have this many eggs at one time, but we left them, we put them back in this clear container, but we wrote on there that they are hard boiled, so there's no question about it. And we wrote the date on there because you can only keep them for a week. So we know that by September the 30th, all of these eggs need to be eaten, okay? And then we put some olives and some pickles right here. Then please notice the carrots are now in an opaque container and ready to go. Some more olives, you know, Christine bought those. They were already open, but olives are not very high in points. Then we made a little basket of yogurt, already flavored yogurt, and some 1 and 2 point cheeses, so that those would be ready, so that when we need a snack, you can grab a hard-boiled egg, some cheese, you could grab some fruit, you could eat some of the tomatoes, maybe a couple of olives, you know, something like that, instead of going over here in the snack drawer. And then on the next shelf, I've got another round of different kinds of tofu ready to go. So these are ready to grab and cook. We can cook those in the air fryer. We don't need the oven for those. I've got some Jimmy Dean fully cooked turkey sausage in there in case we wanted to eat that with some of the eggs. Non-fat plain Greek yogurt is right here. My lunch for tomorrow in the little crock pot is already ready to go. And then the bottom 3 drawers, yes, I think I will make some egg salad, Debbie, but the bottom 3 drawers are now things that I don't want to be into so fast. Like this soup right here is absolutely delicious, but it's I think it's like 11 points per cup. So while I will eat that, I don't need to go to that. It's so yummy. Like go to that first. We need to stay up here, front and center. Those 3 rows. That's you know, good. It's kind of like, you know, being at the grocery store. They always put the things they want you to buy, you know, kind of right there. That's exactly what we did. And then she also had some hummus that was going to go bad because it was stuck in a cardboard box, crammed in the back, never to be seen again. So we put all of that out here where you could see it. And then we put all of the condiments and everything in the door because, I don't know, when I open the door, I'm not looking at that. I'm looking in here. So anyway, that's how we organized the refrigerator side. And then on the freezer side, we put overnight oats are here. Whole wheat English muffins are here, and we froze them so that we have to think about it. If we want them, you've got to get one, you've got to put it in the toaster, and you've got to fix it. We're not just randomly eating English muffins. We've got some lean cuisine, you know, a selection of lean cuisines here in case we have to have a frozen meal. These are all 4-point or less popsicles or like Yasso yogurt bars. Those are all 4 points or less. And when I was talking about marking things, the super cubes, I've got them marked. I have them marked what's in them because I've not transferred all of these to reusable freezer bags yet. So I have, let's see, Debbie says I would be having picky plates for lunch all week. So I marked those. Then down here I've got a Cool Whip container, but it is marked that it is chicken and star soup. That's from last week in the freezer. Some frozen hummus, frozen blueberries. This I'm going to show you here in a second. I went and got some more already prepared 0-point chicken so that it's ready to go. And behind it, this one is shredded chicken. And then the one behind that is, just be careful. I'm sorry, Caroline said, I didn't know that you could put overnight oats in the freezer. Learn something new. Just know you need to move them to the refrigerator the day before you want to eat them, or you need to warm them slightly in some warm water. Do not put the glass jar in the microwave to warm it up, like to make it unfrozen, or it will explode. Okay, so do not do that. Just you want to slowly unfreeze it. But this is shredded chicken, and then I also got some cubed chicken because it was on a killer deal. And then it's ready to eat. This though is one of the other things that we made yesterday, and these freezer bags, I still love these. These are the freezer bags that we looked at the other day, but these are 1 point. I'm going to show you these real quick before you all help me organize the rest of my space. Whew. So who'd have thunk that holding the camera out in front of myself while I pulled stuff in and out of the refrigerator would wind me. But these are, I'm going to show y'all how to make these next week. I'm not going to show you how to make them this week. Super easy though. This particular version has 4 ingredients in it. And y'all are still going to help me organize this other side. So you're not off the hook yet. You still have 10 minutes left. Don't run off anywhere. But these freezer bags, these are reusable 1-gallon freezer bags, and you can write on them. That is a wipe off marker. So when these are done and I'm ready to switch it to something else, you can just take a soft cloth and wipe that off. I did want to point out though, I'm telling you this now because I wanted to point out, you need to write on these when they are dry and there's no food in them. So the first time that I tried to do this, I'm going, why would this write on here? It said you could write on them. Okay, once they're frozen and they have condensation on them, yeah, you can't write on them so much. So dry, flat, empty bag with the dry erase markers, and then after you've consumed what's in here, just take a soft cloth, and wipe that off. And these are individual little, they're from one of those little dash, if you know what those are, the little dash. Oh, I left the door open. I was thinking, what is that popping noise? They're from those little dash. It's one of those little dash waffle makers, and it makes this size waffle. And these are made with Kodiak cakes and non-fat plain Greek yogurt and an egg. So they've got quite a bit of protein in them, but they only end up being 1 point each. Okay, I'm not going to tell you how to make them today. I'm going to tell you how to make them next week. Okay, because we've got to finish organizing my space and we've got to close this freezer door. Okay, so again, organized. That's going to be super easy for us to find what we want to eat in there. This is the space that you all are going to help me finish organizing though. So I started this yesterday, and I've added a couple things to it, and I'm only backing away because I desperately need to take a drink of this yummy tea. Thank you. But I started organizing this yesterday and came back to it today because I wanted to get finished, before next week, before I came back to work tomorrow. So this is the cabinet where I started putting all of my soft food things, when I was going to be, when I was getting ready to have my tooth extracted. So that is where I started. And, and I kept showing it to you all over a couple of weeks, what I was doing with it. So I'm going to turn you back around just so I can talk to you. But these are, what I did is I organized it by higher point things in the back. So harder to get to. Remember, make it harder to get to those and easier to get to the things that are lower points. So higher point things are stacked in the back. I can still see them. There's nothing in this cabinet. I don't have anything in here that is over 8 points. Most of it is, if it's any points, it's 3. Most of it's 3 to 6 points. But I've taken anything that was, that was more than 0, that was more than 3 points, and I've put it in the back. Let's see, and Loretta says that Fairlife is delicious with the pudding. It is so delicious. Okay, so this is not working out exactly like I had hoped it would, but we're going to finish organizing this. So what I already have here now, again, this is already, let me see if I can turn you all around a little bit. This is already, let's put something here to hold you up. 3, come on camera, stay. So this is already everything in the back, 3 points or 2 points. Anything back here is going to be like 3 to 6 to 8 points. So I put all that in the back. So again, it would be the hardest to reach. Then I'm taking all of my 1 point things and I'm going to stack them here in front. So I've got fruit cups that are made with, there are no sugar fruit cups. I've got unsweetened applesauce. Those are just carrots. They're just regular carrots. Here's some more of the fruit cups. So we've got some no sugar added fruit cups, and if y'all haven't seen these, here is the package for them. No sugar added. If y'all can see that, the no sugar added is actually 0 points because if you pour the juice off, if you leave the juice on there, it is no longer 0 points. So be sure that you do that. But that is the cherry mixed fruit. Then we also have some no sugar added pears. I'm going to add a few of those. And again, unsweetened applesauce. So that unsweetened applesauce, I've had for 3 weeks and completely forgot that I had it because it was down in one of these drawers. That's why you've got to get it up where you can see it, because I love applesauce, and there are plenty of times that I would have loved to have had some applesauce, but I forgot it was there because it was the last one from that pack and it was hiding down below. I also had forgotten, because these were in one of the drawers down below, I had forgotten that I had all of these yummy Smart Bowls, quinoa with beans, pasta and beans, zesty lemon. These are all tuna Smart Bowls, tuna creations. These are all like 3 points and under. A lot of them are just 1 point. So I'm going to put all of these out where I can see them. So now, and I even have a chicken of the sea salmon one that's ready. So now, this is, let me turn y'all back around again. So now this space is completely organized. So it's got higher point things in the back. And, oh yeah, and the rice cakes, let me think a second. Those are, I believe those are 2. These are really good with a little bit of reconstituted PB2 or with some Cool Whip on them though. But I've got everything in the back. Everything that is 3 points or higher is in the back, or higher than 3 points is in the back. Then we've got 0 point fruit cups, some more 0 point fruit cups, my 3 point shakes, and we've got the tuna choices there. So it is all up front and center. Okay, Does that make sense? Does that make you less stressed about my kitchen? It makes me less stressed about my kitchen. That has taken, so just putting my new team of 3 together yesterday, we took an hour out of our day. We just took 1 hour, the 3 of us, out of our day. So that's 3 hours total, in case you can't do that math, because you know I'm not great at math. So we took 1 hour, the 3 of us, and we did all of this. So we did everything except what you all just helped me do in technically 3 hours, because there were 3 of us. So easy. Carol Lou says she writes the points on everything before she puts it away. Exactly what we're doing next, phase next. But I decided to take it in baby steps, what they could help me do, because they can't scan, and they're not doing Weight Watchers, so they can't, scan points. But I'm planning on keeping it that way. I think this will be much less stressful. I think this will really, 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 really finally help me to be able to eat lunch when I'm at work, so I don't go crazy at night. And Caroline says she needs to organize her food cupboard. LOL. Yep, we all do. Yeah, I'll just hop on over there, Caroline. Okay, I'll hop on a plane and I'll come over there and help you with that. But I hope you all got some great ideas. I'm super excited about what we're building in here. I'm already getting excited about making soup and putting it in the super cubes and working my little bag so that we know what it is. But yeah. So I'm super pumped about it. Okay, so I hope you all had a great time tonight. I know I did, and you all helped me to get ready for everything that's going on. Much less stressful. But if you were watching this on YouTube, please go ahead and let that next video roll over. I promise you will enjoy it. And please hit that little subscribe button down there. To the rest of you, I hope you had a great time and had a great evening. I did. Y'all helped me so much, and thank you again so much for the stars, everybody. I really appreciate those. But you all have a great night. I'll check in with you all tomorrow, and I'll see you next week. Good night.